Ever wondered what the words Islam and Muslim truly mean? In the most common parlance, Islam is often seen as simply a religion, a set of beliefs, rituals and traditions followed by around a quarter of the world's population. And Muslim? That's the term used to describe an individual who follows this religion, right? Well, while not wrong, these interpretations merely scratch the surface of these deeply significant terms. Did you know that these words hold a profound linguistic depth that goes far beyond these basic definitions? They're not just labels, but rather they're imbued with a richness and complexity that paints a much more comprehensive picture of the faith and its adherents. But what if we told you there is more to these words hidden in the roots of their language? Intrigued? Stay tuned as we delve into the fascinating linguistic roots of Islam and Muslim. Let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Dive with us into the Arabic language from which the term Islam originates. The term Islam is derived from the Arabic root word salam. Now, salam in Arabic carries the meaning of peace, safety, and tranquility. It's quite fascinating to think about this, isn't it? A religion named after a term that fundamentally signifies peace. But let's delve a bit deeper. The term Islam also springs from another Arabic word, istislam. Istislam connotes submission or surrender. But it's not just any form of surrender, it's a surrender that is conscious, deliberate, and willful. It's a surrender to the highest power, to the will of God. In essence, Islam is not just a tag for a religion, it's a profound concept that encapsulates a state of being. It's a state of peace, a state of tranquility that is achieved through a conscious and willful submission to the divine will. This linguistic root of Islam gives us a unique perspective into the philosophy that underpins the religion. It tells us that Islam is not just about rituals and codes of conduct. It's about cultivating a mindset, a way of life that brings inner peace through aligning oneself with the divine will. The beauty of the Arabic language is that it's not just about words and their literal meanings, it's about layers of meaning, nuances and depths that can only be appreciated when you dive deep into its roots. So when we say Islam, we're not just talking about a religion in the conventional sense. We're talking about a path, a journey towards peace and tranquility achieved through surrender to the divine command. So Islam doesn't just denote a religion, but a state of peace achieved through submission to God's will. Now let's explore the term Muslim. The word Muslim is often used to refer to a follower of Islam, but its linguistic roots give us an even deeper understanding. The term Muslim also originates from the Arabic language, like Islam, and shares the same root, SLM. The word Muslim literally translates to one who surrenders or one who submits. But what exactly is this surrender or submission referring to? In the context of Islam, this submission is not to any worldly authority or power, but specifically to the will of God, the divine power that is central to all Abrahamic religions. This idea of submission is a conscious and intentional act, not born out of coercion, but of free will and choice. It is an act of surrendering one's own will and aligning it with the divine will to live in harmony with the universe and its creator. This surrender is not passive, but rather an active commitment to a life of peace, love, and understanding. It signifies an individual's decision to follow the path of righteousness as prescribed in the Quran and live a life of moral and ethical integrity, guided by the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. This act of surrender is not merely about religious rituals, but more about the moral and ethical values one adheres to in daily life. It is about being honest, fair, compassionate, and respectful to all of God's creations. It's about striving for justice, equality, and peace in all aspects of life. This submission is a spiritual journey, a quest for peace through the alignment of one's will with divine will. It's about embracing the divine guidance to navigate through life's challenges and complexities. So when we refer to someone as a Muslim, we're not just identifying their religious affiliation. We are acknowledging their conscious and willing submission to the divine will, their commitment to a life of peace, and their continuous striving to align their actions with moral and ethical principles. Therefore, a Muslim is not just a follower of Islam, but one who seeks peace through submission to God's will. Now let's bring these linguistic elements together. Having delved into the linguistic roots of Islam and Muslim, we can now weave these threads into a broader understanding. Islam, originating from the Arabic term aslama, signifies submission or surrender. But it isn't a submission to any worldly power or entity. It's a voluntary surrender to the will of the Almighty, a conscious choice to align one's life with a divine framework. When we say Muslim, we're referring to one who submits. It's a term that denotes an individual who has chosen this path of surrender to God's will, a path that seeks harmony with the universe by aligning with its Creator's design. The term Muslim is not a mere label or a token of identity. It's a descriptor of one's commitment to this journey of submission and peace. Now let's consider the word peace. The Arabic salam, from which Islam is derived, implies a state of tranquility, a respite from conflict or strife. This is not just peace in the sense of absence of war, but a deeper, more profound peace. It's an internal serenity that comes from knowing one's place in the cosmos, from living in harmony with the divine order. So when we speak of Islam and Muslim, we're talking about a quest for peace through submission to God's will. It's a continuous personal journey that goes beyond rituals and customs. It's a way of life that seeks to balance the human need for structure and order with the divine mandate for mercy and compassion. It's important to remember that these words encapsulate more than a religious tradition. They represent an aspiration, a striving towards a state of being. They invite us to consider our place in the universe, to reflect on our relationship with the divine, and to seek peace through surrender to a higher order. Thus, the words Islam and Muslim encapsulate an entire philosophy of life. So what does this all mean for our understanding of Islam and Muslims? Well, exploring the linguistic roots of these terms has undoubtedly been an enlightening journey. It's like unearthing hidden treasures, isn't it? Delving into the heart of language, we find a wealth of wisdom waiting to be discovered. We've learned that Islam and Muslim are not just labels or categories. They're not merely designations for a particular religion or its adherents. These terms, deeply rooted in the Arabic language, carry profound meanings that define the core of the faith and its followers. Islam is not just a religion, it's a state of being, a way of life, an attitude. It's about submitting to the will of the divine, seeking peace through this submission, and striving for harmony in all aspects of life. It's a call for humility, for acknowledging that there's a higher power governing the universe, a power that we, as humans, submit to. On the other hand, Muslim is not just a label for someone who follows Islam, it's a descriptor of the individual's relationship with the divine and with the world. A Muslim is one who willingly submits to the divine, seeking peace and harmony through this submission. It's about being an agent of peace, a promoter of harmony, a beacon of tranquility in a world that often seems chaotic. Understanding these linguistic roots and the profound meanings they carry can foster greater empathy and respect, not just for Muslims, but for all people of faith. It can help us see beyond the stereotypes and misconceptions that often cloud our understanding. It can help us appreciate the diversity of human experience and the richness of our collective spiritual heritage. And so I encourage you to share this knowledge with others. Start a conversation, ignite a dialogue. Let's break down the walls of misunderstanding and build bridges of empathy and respect. Let's celebrate our diversity and learn from our differences. After all, knowledge is not just about acquiring information, it's about using that information to create a better world. As we wrap up this exploration, I hope you take away more than just the linguistic roots of Islam and Muslim. I hope you take away a deeper understanding of the faith and its followers. I hope you take away a newfound appreciation for the power of language and the values it can embody. And most importantly, I hope you take away a sense of curiosity, a desire to keep exploring, to keep learning, to keep growing. So let's continue this journey together, delving deeper into the world of language, faith, and culture. Let's keep unearthing the hidden treasures that lie within our words and our worlds. Remember, language is not just about words, but the ideas and values they embody. Until next time, keep exploring.